Hi everybody, Dina here with Yoga and Nutrition, and today we are going to do from a request from one of my yoga students that would like me to help you work on more balance. So we're going to do 10 balance poses that if you work on a few times a week, your balance will definitely get better and improved for whatever you need for good balance, for, just basically everyday things. But, if you're playing sports or dancing or doing anything athletic, always, balance will keep you stronger in what you're doing and trying to accomplish. But also balance is really just important for our normal stability, walking around. We find we trip very easily. We trip over our feet, over our shoes, over a curb. If we're walking on grass, there's so many different ways we can trip up because of the ground being unlevel. The most important thing for balance is your core. So as we get older, we tend to let our core go and we're not paying attention to what's in front of us. So really paying attention to your core whenever you're walking out or walking around, especially on unstable ground. If your balance is challenged, you want to have something near you to walk with if you need to. But certainly practicing yoga practices with balancing poses really are going to help you get that stability for whatever you need to do. So it's just very, very important. And we're going to start with a nice meditation first, as we always do. So draw your attention to your breath, close your eyes, soften the body, bring your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring a nice intention to your practice or to you want to bring into your life. Think about it for a moment and then let it go. Nice. Tuning in is really good to start your practice. It just helps you to get rid of all the stagnation of thoughts coming into the brain, any stress that's going on or anxiety in the body. And breath and meditation helps you to decompress and come into that space of oneness, because yoga is all about being in your one with your body, your spirit, bringing it all into balance, okay? So let's get started. So we're going to start, all our poses will be standing up. If you would like a prop or two, a chair would be good, and a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a book or something else that's a little bit firm. I'll show you after what we're going to do with that. So the first one we're going to do is I want you to just stand in mountain pose. And mountain pose is just a standing pose with your arms out, right? And you're feeling your feet. Your feet are slightly apart. They're in line with your hips. So bringing your feet together is not good for balance, right? You're feeling a little bit of sway here. You're not stable. So the feet should be out slightly in line with your hips. If you can imagine not the skin on your body, but your bones, your hip bones, and that's where your feet should be directly under, okay? Spine is tall and the tummy is drawn in. The core is engaged. So if your core is just soft and your shoulders are soft, you're just feeling that sway. But if you bring your core in and engage your stomach muscles, feel the stability in that. Feel the grounding through your feet. I want you to feel all your 10 toes and press them into the floor or the mat. Feel the balls of your feet and the heels and ground them down as you feel that lengthening and stability coming up the body. And so it's just nice to be aware of this and just kind of figure out, my balance is a little off here. I'm really not paying attention to my core, which is really important. So just to be aware of what we need to work on, okay? I love doing these classes that are specifically designed for certain needs. And yeah, sure, we can do a beautiful yoga class that's 40 minutes long and we're getting tons of poses in and we get a great workout from head to toe. But sometimes we really need work on certain areas and certain things that you don't have a clue maybe or an idea of how to do that. And so that's what I'm here for, is to teach you and to give you some direction so you can do that in your own space. Okay? So the first one is up on your toes. So as you ground the feet into the mat or the floor, I want you to see if you can come up on your toes and come down. Now remember, keep the core engaged. Keep your spine tall, your shoulders pulled back. You're going to feel a little bit maybe in the lower back here because you're working your muscles a little bit. Your legs are strong as you come up on your toes and come back down. Now, you can come up on your toes and you can hold it and you can challenge it and see where your balance is here. Draw your core in a little bit further. You're going to feel a little sway, but check it back in. Keep it nice and strong and bring the heels down. Keep your breath moving. It's important to keep the oxygen flowing. Inhale, maybe as you bring your heels up, feeling that on your toes and bringing it down. Now, another way of doing that, if you're feeling like your balance is challenged here, is to grab a chair. Hold the chair nice and easy. Now, you're not holding on for dear life. You're just maybe putting on a couple of fingers. Maybe you got 5 fingers on it and you're pulling up and down. And then as you get stronger, you go to 2 fingers and then to 1 finger. And then all of a sudden, your balance is in check now. Now you're really here. You're on your toes and you're balancing without any support at all. And bring it down. Now, I have to say that balance does change daily. I can be totally balanced one day doing up on my toes, and the next day I can't do it, or I'm flopping around a little bit. And that has to do with your sleep, your hydration, your nutrition, your levels of anxiety. It changes, it fluctuates. So keep that in mind, that if one day your balance is off, well, maybe the night before you didn't have a good night, or you didn't have a good night's sleep, or you had a stressful day. So it's important to use that meditation to ground you and to balance the body, and then move forward in working with your balance. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, and I'm going to keep a chair here because we may need it, is tree pose. So with tree pose, there's a few different ways you can do it. And the easiest way is to just bring your toes, keeping on the floor, turning your foot inward and bringing your heel to your ankle. And that's nice and easy. With the hand on the chair, you can kind of let go and see where your balance is here. If it's easy for you, you can bring your foot to your ankle, your inner ankle, or your calf. Or if you really want to challenge, you bring it to your inner thigh. Okay, you could still keep your hand on the chair and do that 1 finger, 5 finger, whatever fingers you need to bring on the chair to keep that balance, and that's fine. And bring the other hand to the heart. And this will help to dig in, so you really want to hold that core in again, stabilitate, get really stable on that standing leg, spine is nice and tall, drawing inward, looking straight forward. So your focal point is really important with tree pose, because you want to focus, you want to keep that balance nice and stable. And again, if that's not comfortable there, you don't bring it on your knee because you don't want to pressure your joints. You want to bring it to your calf, inner thigh, or ankle, or bring the toes on the floor. Nice job. And we're going to switch sides. Okay, so each side can be totally different. You might have an injury that you're working with, so do it accordingly. So maybe you don't need the chair for this side, or maybe you do. So again, we're going to start either with the inner ankle, with the toes on the floor, on the ankle, on the calf, or in the inner thigh. Hand on the heart. Nice deep breath. Check in that core. Got a little fly flying around here. And get your focal point. Don't close your eyes with balance poses. That's really, really challenging. And again, see if you could take your fingers off the chair. See where your point is of where you can find that stability and challenge it a little bit. If you don't need the chair, both hands to the heart. You can bring your foot even to your calf here or to the floor if you don't want to use the chair. So the chair is there if you need it. Beautiful. Take a nice breath, shake it out a little bit. I'm going to push the chair up a little bit because in case you need it, it's going to be there. And we're going to do dancer pose. So dancer pose, it can be challenging if you can't lift your foot up or bring your leg back. But for those of you who can, you can lift your leg and grab your foot if you can. If you can't do this, you could put a strap or a belt around your ankle and you can hold it that way. So I'm going to grab my foot. So dancer pose looks like this, right? But if your balance is challenged, you grab the chair and grab the foot. Now, depending on where you can go with this is where your challenge is. So if you really want to go into this pose, then challenge it forward. Maybe keep a couple of fingers on the chair, draw your core in, and that leg is standing leg is really strong right now. Get your focal point and see where that balance is here. For those of you who have a little bit more flexibility, you could start to draw the leg up, draw the arm out, and now you're really challenging it in dancer pose. Great. We're going to do the other side. This side may be different, so you can grab your foot or strap it, and then again, pull forward if you'd like, or just go into full dancer and feel the differences between the two sides. And bring it down. Nice. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is half moon. So half moon can be a little challenging as well. You can use the chair, and so you're going to point your foot to the chair, grab the chair, bring your hand on your leg, and lift the leg up. Okay, and you could just stay right here and see where you are here. You can lift the fingers up. Half moon is actually bringing the hand down to the floor and bringing the arm up towards the ceiling. You can put your hand on a block, you could put your hand on the chair, wherever you want, but just find it challenging. And it doesn't need to be pretty or anything. We're just working on our balance here. So using all the different muscles that are challenging the balance. Okay, other side. So you're going to point your foot towards the front of the mat, and then you bring your arm to your hip, and you just lift the leg. So look I'm staying right here, and I don't want to go further. That's fine. I'm wobbly right here. So I'm working it right here. If I feel like I'm getting stronger and I can go down further, then I'm going to, again, going into the pose that works best for you. And this is a challenging balance pose. Okay, the next one is we're going to grab our block or our book and we're going to place it on our head. This is always fun. Everybody always likes to do this one. So why is it on your head? Because, well, you have to keep the block on your head. You don't want it to fall. And then you can do different things to challenge it. You can come up on your toes. You can lift one heel up. Draw that core in. Make sure you're checking in to the core, the shoulders, the body is nice and tall. Get your focal point. Maybe lift your leg up. So you got a lot going on here. You're trying to keep that block stable and you're trying to work on that balance. And bring it down. Nice job. And try the other side. Get that foot nice and stable. Make sure it's underneath your hip. Draw the core in. Come up on those toes. See if you can go further and lift the foot. If not, keep that big toe on the floor. And just finding that stability. You're doing awesome. These are challenging poses, especially if your balance is off. And we want to keep it in check. We want to get it stronger. And it will get stronger if you work on it. So I'm just going to lift my leg. And bring it down. Nice job, everybody. Good. So the next one we're going to do is Warrior 3. So again, we're going to use the chair. And Warrior 3 looks like this, right? So you're just bringing the leg up and the arms out. So if it's a little challenging, you just bring your hands to the chair and you lift one leg. Again, I'm taking a couple of fingers off the chair. Maybe I'm going to bring my wrists on the chair. I'm going to try and look down and maybe challenge it by taking my hands off the chair. Again, you're using that leg, you're using all the glute and leg muscles to keep you strong, keep that core in, and bring it down. Nice. You don't have to do it for a long period of time. You want to do it till you get a little fatigued, and then try the other side. Oh, I'm going to switch legs. Again, stability. If you're a little wobbly with the foot, you want to get those toes digging into the floor or the mat. Hold on to something if you need to. And bring it down. Nice. So the next one we're going to do is a lunge. So lunges can be challenging. You can use a chair if you need to, but we're just going to bring one foot forward and one foot back. Okay. Now you want to really look pay attention to your core here, because your leg muscles are doing a lot, but you really want to keep that core nice and strong so you can bend the knee, that's back, and straighten it. And bend and straighten. Good. This isn't really too challenging for the balance, or maybe it is for you because you have knee issues or hip issues. So again, we're working on different parts of the body to get them nice and strong and support you for your balance. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can making sure that that front foot is the ankle's right underneath the knee if you're going to bring that knee down towards the floor. You can bring the arms up for more challenge. And carefully stand up and turn the other way. This side may be different, so always pay attention, drawing your core in, bring your arms up. Again, you can hold the chair and then start to bend into that leg towards the floor. Hold your core in. You're using your muscles, so your heart rate may go up. Use your breath to keep it controlled. And bring it forward. Good. Grab your chair. Do a downward dog here. Stretch it out. Give the body a little bit of a rest. Good. The next one we're going to do is we're just going to grab our knee. So one step at a time, we're going to lift the heel, come up on the toes, and then lift the leg. Now you can use your chair. It's always there for you. See where your balance is here. Draw your knee up and see if you can grab your knee. Hold your core in. This is really where you need to pay attention to your balance here and your core muscles to keep you nice and stable. If this is a little easy for you, you could start to draw your chin towards your knee. My knee is starting to get a little soft here. It's not really tight straight, just because I want to bring my chin to my knee, so I need a little flexibility in the standing leg. And this is great for balance. Bring it on up. Bring your other foot up. Start very slowly. You want to dig that leg in that's on the floor. All toes, you want to feel the heel, the ball of the foot, and then start to draw the leg up. This may be an easier side or more challenging, so do what works best for you. Grabbing the knee if you can. This is work. This isn't easy. This is work. And bring it down. Forward fold, stretch it out, give it a nice rest, stretch the back. You put a little bit of pressure on the back when you hold your core in. Bring it all the way up. Good. And the last one we're going to do is on a chair. So I'm going to bring the chair and I'm going to sit down. Now, you want to be off the chair a little bit. You don't want to sit all the way back, and you want your feet to be right under your knees. And so this is nice because it's an easy easy exercise to challenge the balance, as you're just going to stand and sit. Stand. And you don't have to look back because the chair didn't move. It's right there. Sit. A little more challenging way is to bring your hands to your heart. Stand and sit. And you could do this up to 10 times if you'd like. Now, an even more challenging way is to bring one foot back and one foot slightly forward. So you're off a little bit, and you're going to stand and sit from this position. You can hold the chair if you need to push yourself up. Because the feet are off, you're challenging your balance here. And sit. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart, stand, and sit. And you're using your legs, which is really great. We'll make them stronger for your balance. Good. Now switch the legs, switch the feet so the other one's a little more forward. And you're going to stand and sit. Nice job. Stand. And that's it. 10 balancing poses to make your balance nice and strong. Take a nice breath, close your eyes, tune in, see how you feel. Remember, yoga is important, you're important, your body is important. Love your body, take care of your body. Work on your balance daily because it's very important. And also nutrition, bringing good nutrition into the body. So eat nice and clean, take the sugar out, bring in some really good food that you love to eat into the diet, and notice how you feel with the changes. You'll get more energy and you just feel more open-minded. The body will feel connected when you eat really good. Yoga and nutrition, you gotta love it. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe. Let me know if you have any ideas or anything you want me to work on for you. Comment, and thumbs up would be great. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Hands to the heart. Namaste.